Welcome guys to another video. I'm Keydrin Franklin with 924 Photography, and I'm going to bring you the Yolobox Pro review. Since the previous version of the Yolobox brings new features to the live streaming game. In this video, I'll go over all those features and we would dive in deep of what's new for the Yolobox Pro. Yolobox is constantly updating these features and listening to the customers to better improve the product that fit our needs. Just to name a few of those features that we'll be going over in this video: inviting guests to your live stream, overlay outputs such as countdown timers, social media overlays for different platforms, and streaming to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, which is absolutely amazing for us. So what I noticed right out of the box of the Yolobox Pro, they added an extra HDMI port. This will add up to 3 cameras from the HDMI inputs. It has a USB webcam out. Computers recognize this as a webcam, meaning you can hook up your camera and use the USB out plug to your computer to do Zooms, conference calls with the best quality. You have 3 ways to get data on the Yolobox Pro: an Ethernet, which is going to give you the fastest and the best connection out there, connecting this to your Wi-Fi, and you can use a SIM card from your cellular provider. This connection depends on your service provider, but it is an option for when you go live and stream. Looking at the outer shell of the Yolobox Pro, you have 3 HDMI inputs. You have a USB port, an Ethernet port, an HDMI out, a USB Type-C in, new headphone port, mic in, line out, and a USB charging port. On the bottom of the Yolobox, you have a 1/4-20 where you can mount this to a tripod. The SD card slot, and I want to make a note, the maximum space is 32 gigabytes and it has to be formatted at FAT32. Next to the SD card slot will be where you will place your SIM card. Then there's the power button where you could turn on this unit. Now I want to backtrack for 1 second to the SD card. You can upload your videos to the SD card, but one thing to note in this video is it has to be exported to 720 or 1080p. Exported 4K files will play on the card but have a green bar at the bottom. So if you see this, that means you have been your footage has been exported as 4K and you need to go back and re-export it at 720p. The overall design for the Yolobox Pro is nice. It's bigger than the original model, and the screen is bigger and it's a bit heavier than the original model. So we're going to dive into the Yolobox Pro right now. So when you first get your Yolobox Pro, as you can see on the screen, you want to go to this man icon that is sitting up on your top right hand corner. Once you click on that, you'll get into this new list right here. So across you see I have my Facebook, my YouTube, I'm unconnected on Twitch, and you got your RTMPs, which you can use to put in here. Most times I'm always just going live on Facebook and YouTube, so that's what I normally have set up, and pretty much you just go in there, you'll click on it, you will add an account. We'll go do that right now. Once you add in the crowd, start binding. It gives you instructions. You say I know, and then you put in your email and your password, and then you'll be able to get it from that point right there. So I'm just going to back out of that. It's just that easy to do. Now, the next thing, that's the most important thing that you want to do, you want to make sure that your firmware is upgraded, because Yolobox is always upgrading the software and improving this box all the time. So we're going to click upgrade to see if we got an upgrade. Oh, and we do have a new upgrade. So in this upgrade, what's new in V2.02? You have a video / instant replay that captures highlights and enhance your live productions. Hey, that's pretty cool. So now you got an instant replay if you are out and you see a play that you were recording, you want to do an instant replay. I mean, that's player. Then you got the YoloCast web URL. And then you have duplicate, reorder, move, bring to front, and send to back graphics overlays. So what that means is I don't know if you ever use Canva, but on Canva, you can move your graphics to the front or to the back, and it makes it so much easier for when you're doing things like that. So we're going to go ahead and click install, and I may speed this process up if it's not fast. So now that we're in monitoring mode, we're going to go over these lower graphics at the bottom. So you have your overlay, you have your share button, you have to bring people in, which we're going to get to that. You can bring a guest in while you're live. We got your volume, we have your score, we have comments, we have your auto switch, and then we have the settings that we're going to go over. These are grayed out because we are in the monitoring mode and we're not in the live mode, which will go live pretty soon. So in the overlays mode, if you hit the plus icon on your right hand corner, you have image overlays, you have lower thirds, you have a countdown timer, you have a web URL, and you have titles, and then you have social overlays. They're pretty self-explanatory, but I'll briefly go over all of them so this video is not super long. Your image overlays, once you see it, you can upload stuff on an SD card or you can use a USB storage. I have like some pictures that I took and just say I wanted to put one up on the screen because I was actually talking about it. I'll just put this one on there and I'll hit done. Once that one is up, I can auto resize it. I can move it around the screen by just touching my screen, and then I can resize it to fit that corner over there. And now I can talk about this image that is displayed on the screen, right? If I wanted it to be a little bit smaller while I'm going live, I can do that and hit done. And then once you hit done, you have to actually click on it for it to go onto your program out. So now just say this image that right here we shot it in the water. We were doing a one-on-one workshop and with Louise, and it was amazing, as you can see. So to get this off the screen, you just tap it one time. Now, just say we're at the beginning of our show. We wanted to put a countdown timer on. So you can put a countdown timer on. You can change your background music. So in order to put music to your countdown timer, you're going to need to put that music on an SD card. Speaking of music, I use Epidemic Sound to use it because I'm copyright free on there because I pay a monthly fee, but you can use whatever service you want to, or you can put whatever music you want on here. I just like using non-copyrighted music because we're going to be on Facebook and YouTube. You can say starting soon. You can change this title. You can change whatever you want to change it to. You can change your text font, your color, your font timer, the ring color, background transparency. You can scale it up and down. You can make it bigger. You can make it smaller. You can do pretty much whatever you want to do. And then once you're done, you'll be done. Now, to put this on the screen, you just tap it on there and then it'll automatically start the counter. How easy is that? I know using my ATM Mini and OBS, it takes a lot. You got to put all that stuff in, but this is an on-the-go box. So if you were out and you're live streaming, you can live stream with this box in your hand by using the SIM card from your cellular data. So to take that off of the screen with the music playing, I can tap that off, and now we can go plus again. And then you got titles, social overlays, and web URLs. So if I wanted to do, just say, my YouTube account, we're going to hit customize, and then I'm going to speed this process up, but I'm going to put my YouTube in here. Then you got that in there, you just hit done. Now don't ask me why my YouTube URL is that long. They won't let me change it. I don't know how I got that long. So it's on my screen here, but you want to do all of this before you go live. So now if I wanted to change my width to the full screen here, and then the height of my YouTube channel, and then I can scale all the way down. And when I hit done, it'll be saved into my overlay box over here to your right. So I click on that, and you got to give it a second, and then it'll pop up on my YouTube. So it's trying to find it, and boom, there we go. So now my YouTube is up and you can hear me talking over my YouTube, and there you go. So just to click it off, you can go off. Now, if you want to add another one with your social overlays, just say I wanted to put my Instagram username here. We just click on that and the screen will pop up as you can see. And then we're going to put in 924 photography. And then we're going to hit the checkbox and then we're going to resize it down. You want that there, right there. So you can resize the username and then you can resize the whole thing, and then you can grab it on the screen and you can put it over to wherever you want to, and then you can hit done. Now, when you're doing this on live, you don't want to, I mean, you can do it on live, but I believe they're going to see it on the program out. So you just want to make sure you have everything that you want to display on your screen right then. So now, as you see, I got my 924 handle on my screen right here. So build your live first, and then you have everything that you need for that particular job, or if it's for personal use, you can get it done. So there's that. We're going to skip the share and we're going to skip inviting guests in. We got to be in the live mode. We'll come back to that. So when we go to audio, this is what's new in the Yolobox. In the first Yolobox, you were only able to have one audio at a time. And with this, you have a line in on the bottom. You have a line in and a mic in, so you can plug it straight into the Yolobox. So you got a program. You can turn your program audio off so people can't hear the actual program audio, or you can turn it back on. And AFV means audio follows video. So that means whatever you switch to, that audio is going to go to that particular source. So if I have my audio on my monitor, or my HDMI on my monitor, it'll come on. And then when you add more inputs in, you will see more of these that come up. So if I don't want the audio to follow the video, and I wanted to have just a certain one, like my HDMI, I don't want it to have it on my monitor on, I can do that. So, but yeah, that's how you would do it with the audio mixer. And then if you go in this right hand corner and click, you can have your audio gain cap if you need to. So you can cap it at whatever you want to cap it at. But I don't normally touch that. But you want to make sure that you test all of this before you go live. Now we're going to go over to our next one, which is going to be our scoreboard display. This is where you can add in your teams, your style, the game name. You can add your team name here. You have your background colors. You can set all of this up beforehand and do it. I don't shoot much sports, but if you stay tuned to my next video that I'm going to do for Yolobox, we are going to do a football game, and we're going to have all this stuff. Me and Lonnie are going to have all this stuff already lined out so we can broadcast this game live. So that's going to be awesome there. So I'll actually use that pretty soon. And then you got your comments tab that's grayed out because you have to be on the live again, and then you'll be able to read the comments. So if you're on Facebook and people are commenting, you'll be able to read the comments here, or the person who's running this little board here will be able to see it. And then we're going to step over to the two video things over here. You got your start auto switch. You have your video sources, HDMI, and how many ever video sources you have come in. You have your switching order, and then you got your main video source. I got mine set at none, but if I wanted to set, I can have my main video source set at HDMI 1. Now we're gonna hit done there, and we're gonna go over to the settings tab. So now we're in the settings tab. So you got your video switching. You can click to switch, or you can double click. So you remember what I said earlier? I had to just tap it one time and it'll come on. If you want to tap it 2 times to be on the safe side, you can do that. You can do that right here in this part right here. Then you got your SD card video switching. You can continue playing when switching, or it can resume first frame when pause when it's switching, or you can pause when switching. So you can pause the video when it's switching, or it can resume the first frame. So say for instance, I'm playing you a video, and when I click off and come back to myself for my HDMI 1, it'll go back to the first frame, so I don't have to re-queue that video up. So if we hit back, you have your SD card management. right here. You can manage your SD card here, or you can do it at the first beginning, what I showed you earlier. Then you got your program out. So now I switch it to program out. So I don't think that you would have seen me switching and making all that stuff with the program out, but this is what program out does once you hit it. So you only are seeing what I want you to see here. So now if I wanted to go back and I wanted to put my YouTube stuff up, so now my YouTube stuff is going to pop up in just a second on the Yolobox, and boom, there we go, my YouTube stuff. And then I can tap it off, and then you can see my 924 photography logo is still at the bottom. So I can just tap that and turn it back off. Now, if I go back to settings and I hit program out and turn it off, you see what I see. So just remember that when you have program out on, they're only seeing what is in that top box up there. That's all they're seeing is what's in that top box. Now you got a USB-C out. What the USB-C out is going to go out to your computer where you can have it'll recognize it as a webcam. You have video source transitions. You can fade, wipe, directional, translate. They got so many in here that they added for you to do. You can fade it to black. If you wanted to, I can just fade it myself to black, or you can come back on. So I recommend you getting real familiar with your Yolobox before you go out on a shoot. So if we hit back here and you got the encoding settings, it's recommended as CBR for the recommended, and then you have like 30 frames per second. You can change that down to 29.976, you know what I'm saying, what we already use here, or if you wanted to go 23.976, you can do that as well. Record limits. You can the video will be recorded and saved every 30 minutes or 60 minutes, or I'm just going to put continuously because I want it to be recorded all the time if I'm going to record in this box. Speaking of recording, that's what the SD card for. So if you got a 32 gigabyte card and you wanted to record your program out, will record your thing, you can go here and it'll record in there, so you will have a seamless video when you're done. So you did all the switching, you had all your cameras, and now you wanted to have a video of its own of the whole program the way you switched it. You can do that here. Just hit record, make sure you got a fast enough SD card in there. So we're gonna go back out. You got your storage settings. I'm using my USB. I'm using my SD card, but you can use a USB storage as well. And it's a USB slot on the top of the Yolobox. So if we go back out of that, you got your replay settings. This is what's new in the Yolobox where to put in the replay video duration. You got 10 seconds here. You can change it to 1 minute or whatever you want to do. The replay speed, as you see, you have the normal speed. You can slow it down. You can speed it up. You have replay. You can turn it on and off. Instant replay, 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 replay. You know what I'm saying? So that's good. You just show replay overlay on program, so that'll be on your program out. So if that's what you like to do, then there you go, they put it in this box for you. We're gonna hit back, and that is it for these settings. Now what I am going to do is in the next little bit we're going to go back into the live, and I'm going to show you how to go live on Facebook live. So we're going to go on Facebook live in just a second, and then you'll see these grayed out parts come back to life. So other than that, you got your 1080. You can go to the top of here. You can change the 720 or 480 resolution, however you want to. I like to keep mine at 1080. And you can just hit the replay. The video replay feature is only available when you're live recording. Okay, I got it. It gives you all these informational warnings that you need to see what you want to do. And what's cool, as you see replay up there, all you got to do is hit replay. If I wanted to hit the record button right here, you have 26 gigabyte free of space on your SD card. Due to some system restrictions, recording will be saved as a new clip every time it hits 3.5 gigabytes. Okay, so you might want to up your card to 128 if it will take it. So again, you can hit the record button right there and it will illuminate, so you know that this Yolobox is recording every single time that you do it. As soon as you hit it, everything is laid out for you. So again, I'm gonna come back in just a second and we're gonna go to the live box, and then we're gonna go live on Facebook Live. So now we're about to go live, and I'm going to show you what to do. So now you want to go down to the right hand corner and push the plus button, and it asks you to create a live stream. So you're gonna see once we create that live stream, the grayed out things that when we're in monitoring mode, they'll be ungrayed out now. So we create a live stream. We're going to put in Yolobox test. All right, Yolobox test, hit done, and then we're gonna hit create. Once we hit create, you get another box up to say open and resume. We want to open and resume, and then we're going to click that. And now we are in the live portion. As you can see at the very bottom, all our things that was grayed out on the monitoring mode, we're not grayed out anymore. Now, one thing I want to talk about is over here on the platforms, when you're on the share, under the share button, if you click on Yolo Live, this is their own streaming platform that they have now that you can go stream. And if you click this button, it'll bring you up a little box to say you can try it for free, no credit card required. It's their streaming platform because they got a new box out that will do Instagram Live and TikTok. So again, if you wanted to set up your YouTube, all you do is hit this plus icon right here. You would tap one of the functions down there and you would follow the directions from there, logging in. All right, once that's done, we're gonna go to my YouTube and we're gonna go live. It's gonna ask you if you wanna be public, unlisted, private. We're gonna go unlisted now. We hit done. Once we hit done on that, you see that the go live symbol is ready to go. It says YouTube is ready. Now you got the replay button at the top. We'll go over there in just a second. So now I'm gonna go ahead and hit go live, right? So, well, before I go live, if you scroll all the way down over to your gear icon and you hit program out, that will be going, your program out will go to another monitor, right? So that's what a program out is, and you'll see what the actual people are seeing. But I'm not gonna hit that for this video, so just so you know. All right, so we're gonna go back to the share. We're gonna hit go live. It's gonna ask you, are you ready to live stream? You hit done. And we are live streaming on YouTube. What's going on, everybody? This is Keydrin with 924 Photography, and thank you for joining in to my YouTube video on the Yolobox Pro review. Now, this Yolobox Pro is so good and more efficient than the very first one. The first one was nice, but this one is way better. We can invite guests in. Yes, that's what I said, guests. How you invite guests in? You go all the way down to the bottom of this thing where the two humans are stacked up to get each other, and you can go to invite guests. Once you go to invite guests, you can put their email address in, or you can send the link to yourself and then you can send it to the people. Now, one thing is, when they are joining in, their audio is not going to be muted. You have to let Yolobox know that you want it to mute their audio. Otherwise, if they're saying something out of the way coming in on your live, those people are going to hear it. So once that's done, we're just going to hit cancel. You would go to mute guests by default. So whenever they come in, they are muted. You have to unmute them. So that means you have to come back to this icon and click. You have to unmute them under the sound part, and I'm gonna show you that in a second. So if you don't see them joining in and they say they're there, you got to make sure that you allow participants to join. If you don't, you won't see them. So once that's done, you'll click on that. Once they come in, you will have another thing here that says that you have a guest on there and you can unmute their audio under the audio tab. Now, say for instance, we wanted to go to the instant replay. We need our instant replay settings. You want to scroll all the way to the bottom under the settings, hit replay settings, and then you want to come here and you can change your duration. If you want a 15-second replay, boom, then you can have it at regular speed. You can slow it down. You can do whatever you want to do, and you can have the replay audio on, and then you can mute all other audio sources during replay. That is so cool, because then if you're still talking, you won't be talking over the instant replay. So since that's done, we're going to go back and we're going to hit replay. So now it is playing an instant replay. Man, that is so cool for 15 seconds. And then if I want to exit out of it, I can just exit out of it. So I hit exit out, and then the replay, it just says replay. Now, remember that SD card that I said that you were inserted in. If you hit the record button and you read this and then you hit start record, now we're recording internally to that SD card, and we can record all our programming, all our switching if we want to share to another social media site later on. So I'll hit that, and when it's done, It said your recording is being saved. It'll throw up another thing. Your recording has successfully been saved, as you can see it on the screen. And then that is it. Bada bing, bada boom. Mwah. Now we hit stop because we want to stop our live stream, and hit end. And guess what? We have ended our live stream, and it's going to ask me, am I sure? Once I'm sure, I'm going to hit done, and boom. So if you like this video, this is what I want you to do. I want you to like, comment, and subscribe, and I want you to ring my bell so you can get notifications for me whenever I post. And make sure you comment and like, because it helps the channel. It helps me grow, helps me bring me more product reviews and stuff like that. Special thanks to Yolobox for allowing me to review their product. And stay tuned for a behind the scenes on location as we go with Lonnie Strickland at a later video at a football game to show you how we live stream that. And I'm gonna see y'all in my next video. Peace.